What if the richest people in America aren't just successful, but also dangerous? We see them on magazine covers. We hear their names in motivational speeches. Billionaires, the dream everyone's told to chase. But behind the luxury jets and inspiring stories, there's a darker side. One that rarely makes headlines. Because the truth is, many of these fortunes weren't built only on hard work. They were built on loopholes, exploitation, and silence. And once the money came, so did the power, the kind that shapes laws, controls media, and silences critics. In this video, we're not here to envy billionaires. We're here to understand what they don't want us to see. And if you stay with me till the end, you'll walk away with a new perspective, one that will change how you see wealth, success, and who really pays the price. Let's begin. Have you ever wondered how some people manage to make billions while most of us are just trying to get by? It's easy to believe the stories we're told, that it's all hard work, talent, and a little bit of luck. And yes, some billionaires did start with very little. But when you look closely, the path to extreme wealth isn't always as clean as it seems. Many of America's richest didn't just build empires, they bought them, merged them, or crushed the competition along the way. They didn't just play the game, they rewrote the rules. With access to insider knowledge, political connections, and private networks, these billionaires found ways to climb faster than anyone else could. They knew which companies to invest in, which laws to bend, and when to strike deals behind closed doors. And once the money started rolling in, it didn't stop. Because in the world of extreme wealth, money makes more money, often without lifting a finger. Stocks, real estate, private equity, all growing quietly in the background. Meanwhile, smaller businesses can't keep up, and regular people are left fighting for scraps. Stick with this video until the end, because we're not just talking about money, we're exposing how deep this rabbit hole goes. What you'll hear next might just change how you see the rich and powerful forever. Let's talk about taxes. Not the most exciting topic, right? But here's the twist. While you stress over your paycheck deductions, many billionaires aren't paying taxes the way you think they are. In fact, some of them pay less in income tax than a school teacher or a nurse. How is that even possible? The answer lies in loopholes. Legal, clever, and often hidden in plain sight. Billionaires don't earn money like most people do. They don't rely on a salary. Instead, they make money through assets like stocks, properties, and businesses, which grow in value over time. And as long as they don't sell, they don't pay tax on that. It's called unrealized gains, and it's one of their favorite shields. Even when they do sell, they often do it through shell companies or offshore accounts in tax havens, places where tax laws are incredibly soft or almost non-existent. These aren't just tricks, they're strategies backed by expensive legal teams and financial advisors. And here's the kicker, it's all legal. Because the very people who could fix the system often benefit from it too. Meanwhile, everyday citizens carry the tax burden. Roads, schools, healthcare, all funded by regular workers while billionaires use the system without truly paying into it. It's a silent imbalance. And it raises a tough question. If the richest among us aren't contributing fairly, who's really keeping the country running? Behind every billionaire is a business. And behind every business are people. Workers. The ones who make the products, pack the boxes, clean the floors, and keep the machine running. But here's the harsh reality. While the top earns billions, the ones at the bottom often struggle just to survive. Look at warehouse workers pulling 12-hour shifts with barely a break. Or delivery drivers racing the clock with no health insurance. Fast food employees juggling 2 jobs to pay rent. These aren't rare stories. They're becoming normal. Some of the biggest names in business are built on a model that keeps wages low, benefits minimal, and pressure sky high. Even worse, some workers are labeled as independent contractors instead of employees. Why? Because it saves the company money. No need to provide health care, paid leave, or job security. It's cost-cutting wrapped in clever wording, and it leaves workers with all the risk and none of the support. And while these workers are stretching every dollar, CEOs are cashing in bonuses worth millions. Stock prices rise, shareholder profits grow, and the spotlight stays on how innovative or disruptive the company is. But innovation shouldn't come at the cost of human dignity. When the gap between effort and reward grows this wide, it's no longer just about business. It becomes a moral issue, one that forces us to ask, how much is enough, and who's paying the price for someone else's success? Money doesn't just buy luxury, it buys power. And for America's billionaires, that power reaches far beyond bank accounts. It reaches into politics, media, technology, even public opinion. Because when you have billions, you're not just part of the system, you can shape it. Many billionaires donate to political campaigns. At first, that sounds generous. But in reality, it's often a calculated move. Big donations open doors. They buy meetings, influence decisions, and shape laws that protect their wealth. Some even fund entire political action committees, quietly steering policy from the shadows. But it doesn't stop with politics. Some billionaires own news networks or major newspapers. Others run social media platforms that billions of people use every day. That kind of control means they can influence what people see, read, and believe without ever appearing in front of camera. When a small group of wealthy individuals controls the flow of information and the rules of the game, democracy starts to look more like a show, one where the script is written behind closed doors. And most of us, we're just watching from the audience, unaware of who's really pulling the strings. It's not just about money anymore. It's about control. And the more control they have, the harder it becomes for everyday voices to be heard. On the surface, it looks noble. A billionaire donates millions to fight disease, improve education, or help the poor. Headlines praise them. Social media celebrates them. And we're left thinking, maybe they're not so bad after all. But is it really that simple? Charity can be genuine, of course. But in many cases, it also works like a powerful tool. A tool that shapes public image, avoids taxes, and keeps control in the hands of the rich. Because when billionaires give money away, they often decide exactly how it's used. They choose the cause, the country, the method. It's not always about helping. Sometimes it's about influence. And there's something else. Donations to private foundations often come with major tax benefits. In some cases, that generous gift reduces how much tax they have to pay, while the public still covers schools, hospitals, and roads. Think about that for a second. A billionaire avoids taxes that could help everyone, then donates money on their own terms and gets applause for it. It's not just giving, it's controlling the spotlight, the system, and the story. The question isn't whether giving is good. The question is, should one person have that much power to decide what's important, while the rest of us just watch from the sidelines? While billionaires build empires, fly private, and grow richer by the minute, someone else is always paying the price. And most of the time, it's not them. It's the single parent working 2 jobs just to afford rent. It's the college graduate drowning in debt, while tuition fees keep rising. It's the factory worker laid off after a company moves operations overseas to cut costs. It's the everyday people who live paycheck to paycheck, while the ultra-wealthy gain more wealth in their sleep. And there's more. The same billionaires who speak about climate change might also own multiple yachts and private jets. They invest in green companies while holding shares in oil giants. The rules seem to bend, always in their favor. Communities suffer when big corporations avoid paying fair taxes. Public services shrink. Infrastructure crumbles. Schools go underfunded. And yet, the richest among us keep building bunkers, buying islands, and preparing for disasters they help create. This isn't just about money. It's about imbalance. When the wealth of a few comes at the silent cost of the many, We're left with a system that rewards power and punishes everyone else for not having it. The gap is growing. And until we start asking harder questions, it will keep growing silently, brutally, and without shame. Not every billionaire is the villain in this story. Some truly want to make a difference. Some create jobs, solve problems, and give back. But the problem isn't just individual. It's the system that allows a handful of people to hold so much wealth, power, and control, while millions struggle just to get by. When money speaks louder than laws, when charity replaces accountability, and when influence hides behind a smiling face, we have to stop and ask, is this really the kind of world we want? Because unchecked power doesn't just grow quietly. It spreads. It shapes everything, from what we see on the news to how our laws are written. But awareness is the first step. If you made it this far, you already see the cracks. And once you see them, it's harder to look away. So the next time you hear a story about a billionaire's success, ask yourself, what don't they want us to know? And more importantly, who's being left behind? If this video made you think differently, even for a moment, then it's already done its job. But this conversation doesn't stop here. So, if you believe more people need to hear the truth behind the headlines, share this video. If you want to see more stories that challenge power and open eyes, subscribe. And if you have thoughts, questions, or even doubts, drop them in the comments. I read them all. Because the more we question what we're told, the closer we get to the truth they try to hide.